What are the key steps applicants need to take right now to ensure they make the deadline?
Well, depending on the kind of investment that they do, because the golden visa that you can apply, you can qualify doing different investments. But the key for real estate investment, which is the 500,000 euros in one or different properties, okay? It doesn't have to be one, it could be different. But the key is doing a contrato de arras. So I see that my clients are asking me if they still have time. Yes, we have time, but you need to pick a property if we are talking about properties and do a contrato de arras with the seller and open a bank account, put in the money. So that is the key point. And I'm explaining this because there was a client that didn't understand it correctly and understood that just had to do a promise to buy a property. No, you have to really pick the property and have a contrato de arras between the seller and you about that property, not just a promise to buy a property without identifying the property.
You mentioned the contrato de arras. What is this contract and what does it mean for the person who signs it?
So contrato de arras is an agreement between seller of the property and buyer of the property, in which you pay a 10% at least, but normally it's a 10% of the property, and during the time normally we say that there will be everything done in 6 months because immigration give us 6 months, but really the contrato de arras is a promise from the seller saying that they will sell you the property, and a promise from the buyer saying that we'll buy the property, and the buyer will pay 10% in advance of the property, and just for immigration also will put the rest of the money in the bank. Okay, so if the seller doesn't sell you anymore the property, which I haven't seen it in all my life, but if the seller doesn't sell you the property anymore, we'll have to pay you back the 10% that you paid plus another 10%, okay? Because he promised to sell it and he didn't sell it. And if the buyer doesn't complete the purchase, loses that 10% that has paid.
And if I get the golden visa granted with only a contrato de arras, but then I don't complete the purchase operation?
Well, when you do the application with the contrato de arras, immigration is going to give you a 6 months golden visa just to verify in 6 months if everything was completed, if you pay the property and the property is under your name, because this takes time also. Even if you buy it, putting all the documents under your name takes time in Spain. Depends in the city or in the area, is a little quicker or a little slower, but takes time. That's why it's designed, this contrato de arras also, to give you 6 months to complete everything. And after 6 months, you have to renew it. How you renew it? You renew it showing that the property is already under your name. If it's not under your name because you didn't purchase the property, then they will not renew the golden visa for you.
You will have to show that in the property registry of the city, you are the owner, or would it be enough to show the property deed that you signed at the notary?
So it should be enough to show the deed, okay? But really, immigration is asking for a document that is called Certificado de Dominio y Cargas, okay? Which is a document that you ask to the property register office that shows that you are the owner, and also if there are any problems with the property. That's why they want to check, because in the deed, you only show that you are the owner. But if there is any problem with the property, if there is a loan that hasn't been paid, things like that will be shown in the Certificado de Dominio y Cargas, and that's why they want the Certificado de Dominio y Cargas.
How quickly can a complete application be submitted and processed?
Really quick. So we have to decide if you come into Spain, because you can do it from inside Spain or from outside Spain. Okay, that is the first thing, because If you need to come, we need to wait for you to come. And the second step is opening a bank account, okay, and doing the contrato de arras, or imagine that you are doing a deposit. It's even quicker, the deposit, than the contrato de arras with a property. But more or less in a week, everything is ready in order to be submitted. Of course, for example, if we are starting right now with you and you don't have the criminal records, we will not have the criminal records yet. So maybe we will be waiting to submit it until you get the criminal records, or if they haven't arrived yet, the criminal records, and April 3rd is coming, we will have to submit the application, and then they will stop the process. If they check that the criminal records are missing, they will send us a letter giving us 10 more days to submit the criminal records. That's how we can be quick or slow the process also, if we need to slow the process a little because there is any document missing.
Are there any specific regions or types of investments that might allow for a faster approval process?
So regarding types of investments, of course, maybe making a deposit, for example, is going to be quicker, but making a deposit in the bank means a 1 million euro deposit. So it's not the same a real estate investment in 500,000 euros that the deposit of 1 million. If we are talking about the real estate investment, as we said, the contrato de arras, okay? Normally it's going to be faster to have the contrato de arras than to have all the documents under your name. And regarding regions, yes, there is always some regions that have a property register office quicker, okay, that issue the document of the certificado de dominio y cargas, what I was explaining, quicker, because they have less work or because they have more people working inside the register office. But in any case, because we can do the contrato de arras, that is just in the notary, you don't have to go to the property register office. It doesn't matter where are you going to buy the property to have the ability to apply quicker to the Golden Visa.
Are there any legal shortcuts or strategies to ensure applications are filed before the deadline?
So what you need to know is, yes, some strategies that we can do. For example, if you don't have all the documents, but you have the main documents, you can do the application. Because what you cannot do is applying after April 3rd, even if you have bought the property before. So this is what they asked me. If I buy the property before April 3rd, can I do the application after if I show that I have bought it before April 3rd? No. The application has to be submitted before April 3rd. So what we can do is apply with everything that we have, and then we will have some more days to complete it. We will have some more days because they have to analyze it and see that something is missing and give us 10 more days. If they haven't analyzed it yet and we receive it already, of course, we will submit the rest of the documents to the application. But that are the things that you have to know. You have to know that maybe if just one of you can come, the main one can come, for example, the main one can do the application here in Spain and the family members from outside, from the consulate, because it has to be quick, and I understand that maybe everyone cannot come, the whole family, maybe the children are in a school, I don't know, but there is a solution for that. We can do the main principal here and the rest of the family in the consulate, or everyone in the consulate. I say the main one here because normally you come to sign and to see the property, but it's not even necessary. You can give a power of attorney, you can give me a power of attorney to me or to someone that you want to that you trust, and the purchase can be done without you coming, and you do everything from the consulate if you prefer.
If a real estate deal falls through at the last minute, can the investment be transferred to another property while maintaining eligibility?
So if we do it before April 3rd, yes. So we can switch the property before April 3rd. But after April 3rd, we cannot. So if we sign a contrato de arras, they give us for 6 months the the golden visa, and then you don't buy it or they don't sell it to you, and you have to buy other property, it won't be valid. If they could be flexible, okay, but I don't think they are going to be flexible, but because this is like a political also decision to quit a little bit the golden visa. So they want to be flexible when they want to attract this kind of permits. I don't think they will be flexible switching a property after April 3rd.
If there is a delay in the visa approval process due to administrative backlogs, will an extension be possible?
Well, it's not that they have to give us an extension. It's that if they don't resolve it in 20 days, because they cannot start it, because there is a lot of people applying, or because whatever reason, if they don't answer us in 20 days, it has to be an approval. So it's what we call in Spain positive silence. It's when we don't get an answer in a certain amount of time, which is 20 days for the golden visas. It has to be an approval. They cannot deny it anymore. So what we do is when we complete the 20 days, we ask for the positive silence. We submit a letter saying it's been 20 days since the application. This rule is with positive silence. You need to grant me the visa for me and my family, the permit for me and my family. And they grant it.
There are Spanish banks that have presence in the USA and the UK, for example, Santander or BBVA. If an applicant deposits 1 million euros in a Spanish financial institution, does it have to be physically transferred to Spain, or can a deposit in, for example, Santander New York branch qualify?
No, it won't qualify. What I've seen in my experience is that the banks, because of the regulation of each country and the protection of the consumer for the banks, they open like companies there in those countries, in the US or wherever. So you really have to get a deposit in a bank in Spain, okay? That doesn't mean that you have to come. As I was saying, you can wire transfer the money, because we can open here a bank account for a deposit and wire transfer the money. The majority wants you to come in presence to open it, but it's not the 100% of the times. So maybe we can avoid you to come and transfer the money, but it won't be valid to do the deposit in a bank from Spain, but of a branch of your country, which is not Spain, the US, Colombia, doesn't matter, because really there is a lot of presence of Spanish banks all over the world. But the deposit will have to be in a branch in Spain.
Can the deposit be made under a company owned by the applicant, for example, a Delaware LLC, or must it be in an individual's name?
It has to be in an individual's name.
What happens if an applicant is still waiting for the federal apostille of their FBI background check? Would a walk-in, drop-off, and pick-up in Washington, D.C. speed things up?
Yes, it could, but in my experience, especially if you are in the US, because now you cannot do it from Spain, but if you are in the US, there is these expedite companies that they do it very fast. So what they cannot do it if you are in Spain, because if you are in Spain, you can do fingerprints and send them to the FBI to get the criminal records. But then there is a new rule from a year ago, something like that you cannot use these expedite companies. So, but if you are in the US, I think that using one of these companies, which are not expensive, I think, is like a 100 euros, something like that, will make things very fast.
Golden visa application with criminal records. If an applicant's spouse has a past arrest but no conviction, could this impact their visa approval?
It could. It shouldn't. So it depends. When we have criminal records, the applicant or a family member is the same, okay? We have to analyze what kind of criminal records and how far away in time are, okay? Because what we do as a lawyer is do like a criminal law comparative report, in which we say what will be that in the Spanish law, and if it would have been, we would have been able to cancel it in Spain, because in Spain the criminal records are canceled and they don't appear. So what we do is that comparison with whatever law of your country with Spain, and if in Spain it should have been canceled already, I don't think you will have any problems. In any case, imagine you have a denial. The denial is from the administrative office, okay, from immigration. There is an appeal to submit to immigration and also an appeal to submit to the court. So even if you have a denial, doesn't mean that it's a definitive denial.
Can a golden visa holder switch from a bank deposit to a real estate investment of 500K minimum after the visa is granted, as long as qualifying criteria are maintained?
I don't think this is going to be possible after April 3rd. So this was a common thing that we were doing. People did an investment of 1 million in a deposit, okay, while they were looking for a home, okay, or different properties. And once they pick the properties, we switch the golden visa of 1 million to the golden visa of investment of real estate of 500,000 euros. But because if it was considered like a new golden visa, there was no problem because the law wasn't cancelled. But now, after April 3rd, because we don't have the chance to do new applications, we have to see, maybe they publish a criteria in which they will be open to that, but I don't think it will be possible to switch from deposit to a property or to switch properties. I don't think it's going to be possible.
Does the bank deposit need to be in euros, or can it be held in another currency to avoid exchange rate risk?
It will be in euros. It will have to be in euros.
Can I add my children as dependents after I got the golden visa granted, after April 3rd?
No. After April 3rd, we cannot get dependents even if you as a principal have the permit. So it's very important that we could include everyone before April 3rd. But remember that they don't have to live here. So one of the advantages of the golden visa is that you don't need to live here. So even that you are planning for your children to come in 2 years, it's very good to apply now. So they will have the residency and the work permit when they come, and they will have it until they become economically independent, not until they are 18 or until they are 21, as you are, a lot of you ask me. They will have the golden visa as long as they are dependent. So if they are studying here and they are 25 years old, they will have that golden visa, and we will only change the permit. We will only change their permit when they become independent.
And this is probably the biggest value that provides consulting with Ainhoa and her team, designing a specific strategy that meets all your specific requirements and is designed so that you comply and you hit your goals, your long-term goals when you move to Spain.
Well, yes, because I see that the thing is that before, if you had a little mistake, doesn't matter because you could apply again. So getting a denial because you made a mistake was nothing bad. You could apply as many times as you wanted until you really have a correct application. Right now, this will not be possible after April 3rd. So this time is important to have it correctly from the beginning.
Yeah, there's no more time to make costly mistakes. April 3rd is just round the corner. After that, there's no longer going to be a possibility to apply for the golden visa in Spain. So I really recommend you to reach out Ainhoa and her teams at Sterna Abogados. You will have the contact details right here and also in the description of this video. Well, thank you so much for joining today, Ainhoa, and everyone for watching.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, and one more thing. Apparently YouTube says you're gonna love watching this video right here. I think you should watch it.